Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. If you are here live, hello. And if you are watching the replay, thank you so much for watching the replay. I am so excited to chat tonight. I missed y'all last week. Excited to get to it. Oh my gosh, already so many hellos in the chat. Hello. It is so good to see all of you. Let's kick it off with our first drink. Oh my gosh, I'm like, mind is all over the place. Let's kick it off with our first question. What it is that you are drinking. If you're here live, drop in the chat what it is that you're sipping on while we're hanging out tonight. And if you are catching the replay, if you're part of the replay fam, let us know in the comments what you are drinking while you're watching the replay. I have a cup of tea tonight. It's actually black tea because we are headed to a show after this. It starts at 8 that Sam's friend is putting on. Very excited to support him and go see the show, but also like, it's a late night. So I have a couple, just a little bit of caffeine pick me up before we head out. So good. Lots of water. I also have my water handy as well. Ooh, chai hot tea season. That sounds delicious. Diet Pepsi with dinner. Water with Sonic Ice. Oh, Shannon, Sonic Ice is the best. Panera's green passion smoothie. Ooh, Heather, that sounds good. There's a Panera right by Dance. And on Saturday, we have tech, and I'm there literally all day. And there's a Panera, there's a Subway, and there's a Starbucks. And so I'm like trying to think what I want to eat for my snacks. I definitely will have to get lunch there and probably will get another snack at some point on Saturday during the day. So I might have to look into this green passion smoothie from Panera. I do love Panera. The problem is what I love from Panera like really fills me up is not necessarily like I'm going to go back to Dance kind of a meal. So I need to figure it out. Sparkling iced caffeine, yum, hot buttered rum. Oh my goodness, that sounds so good. Lots of people got their PowerSheets today, their new PowerSheets, which is so exciting. They just launched a week ago today, and there are already so many of you that received your PowerSheets today, and that is just so fun and so exciting. If you haven't caught the video yet where I talk all about the new PowerSheets, check it out. It's an hour. There's a lot to update you on and a lot of accessories, but lots of helpful timestamps if you just want to see one particular section. Panera's Fuji apple salad. Ooh, okay, Emily, I'll keep that in mind. Thank you. All right, let's get to it. What questions do you have tonight? What do you want to chat about? If you don't want to phrase it into a question, you can always, sorry, that the siren is very loud. I know that I have the window open because it's nice out. It's chilly out. So if you don't have a specific question, you don't know how to phrase it into a question, you can just say, I want to talk about this topic. Let me know what it is that you guys want to chat about. Ooh, so many PowerSheets. The box. Oh my gosh, I know. The boxes are so pretty. So pretty. Just pull them off my porch. Just open my PowerSheets. So many PowerSheets friends today. So exciting. Jennifer, I have a few questions. Apologies in advance. No need to apologize. If you have questions, drop them in the chat. I'm happy to answer all the questions. No worries. And I know that other people appreciate your questions as well. Just because you might feel like it's very specific to you, I promise there is somebody else who is going to benefit from your question. Diane, what books, journals do you use in your morning routine? Great question. So right now I use a plum paper, just a spiral lined notebook for my affirmations. Then I read my daily Stoic, which I am going to replace in 2022. I'm not planning to read that daily. I'm going to find a new daily book to read. Then I have my gratitude journal, which is a 5-year journal that's got space for 5 years. I started it last year. And so I'm on the second row and I just write something that I'm thankful for every day. Then I'm using a write the word journal right now from Cultivate What Matters. I'm doing the joy one. It's the yellow one. And then my No BS program health planner. And that's it, I think, right now. Right now, I'm not reading as part of my morning routine because of Dance. So I don't have any other books. Normally, I would read whatever nonfiction book I'm currently reading after that. So many people with the PowerSheets. Meg, what are you going to do with all your stickers? So I'm planning to give them away. I just am trying to finalize. I just got my Chrissy Ann Designs order in last week, and I'm just trying to finalize what I'm planning to keep and what I'm planning to give away. And then I'm going to do a big giveaway, getting rid of all the stickers that I don't plan to use. Jessica, any fall bucket list items? Not really. The fall is just flying by with dance, the dance show, and all the other things that we have going on, and just enjoying a lot of football. My Longhorns did lose this weekend, but both the Longhorns and the Cowboys are still looking great. And so just a lot of football. I feel like there's not a whole lot of extra time for any kind of fall bucket list items. So just enjoying the rest of the dance season and football. And before I know it, I feel like it's going to be the holidays. Lynn, we can absolutely talk about this again. So let's talk about advent calendars, what I'm getting, what I'm not getting, and why, any new ones that I've heard of, and when are all these available. So the ones that I have purchased so far this year are the Allie Edwards December Daily sticker advent calendar that I'm planning to use in December Daily. She did post a sneak peek, like a spoiler alert video. So if you're someone who wants to like make sure it's worth your money before you buy it, you can on her YouTube channel watch a full flip through of the stickers. I'm not planning to watch it because I would like to be surprised. I already bought it. It actually shipped today. So I am not planning to watch that spoiler video, but you can if you're still thinking about purchasing it. I also purchased the Sugar Fina advent calendar. I wanted like a sweet treat and someone recommended that one. I am still on the hunt for, I think, a candle advent calendar. I found a couple like 12-day ones and then a couple 25-day ones, and I haven't quite decided which one I'm going to go with yet. I'm really frustrated that the Yankee candle ones are not available in the US. As far as I can tell, they're only available in the UK. So I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do in terms of a candle one. The ones I'm not getting that I've gotten in the past, I'm not getting the David's Tea advent calendar, mostly because I just don't get through it. And I end up with a lot more extra tea. I just don't drink as much tea as I used to. And I also just like don't feel like dealing with the loose leaf tea every single day. If it was tea bags, I would really consider it, but loose leaf tea, it's too much work. I'm also not getting any of the kind of like gimmicky, like fun themed ones. So 2 years ago, I did a Harry Potter one, and last year I did a Friends one. They're super fun to open, and I like get really excited about the theme, but the trinkets are just meh, and like it's just not worth it to deal with the trinkets afterwards. That's why I feel like this year I'm getting, and besides the stickers, like I'm getting things that I just like will use up, candles, candy, those kinds of things. The Aldi ones, I also did those last year. They have a wine and a cheese one. Love them. We do not have those here in New York. Well, I might be able to get the cheese one, but our Aldi isn't allowed to sell alcohol in here in New York. So there's no way I can get them. The only reason I got them last year is because of my mom. I was in Chicago with my mom and we got them together. She is not getting the Aldi one. She actually got the Costco wine one this year. So she is not doing the Aldi one either. The Aldi ones usually go on sale the first Wednesday in November. So it's always the Wednesday after Election Day, just random. But the first Wednesday in November. In terms of any other new ones that I've heard of, I haven't really heard of anything else. Nat sent me one in a DM on Instagram yesterday though, that was art supplies. That was pretty cool. I don't use a lot of art supplies, so not for me, but she's been looking for some more unique ones. So that was a lot about advent calendars, but that is what's on my plan in terms of advent calendars. Michelle, how do you keep from working on the PowerSheets before the December workshop? So for me, I just like don't think about it. I really am just still focused on my current set of PowerSheets. My 2022 ones, now that I've done my videos, are put away. I do have a running list of 2022 goal ideas, but I'm not worried about dealing with my PowerSheets. If you want to start them, you can totally start them. And then when we go through the workshop, you can always add to those pages if you really want to get started. Shannon, first time registered for Cultivate Your Live. Anything tips I should know to prepare? First off, congrats. I'm so excited for you. I do think that there are some amazing benefits to Cultivate Your Life, which I talked all about in the review video for the 2022 PowerSheets. My biggest tips would be to, number one, have some ideas, right? Like brainstorm before, because I feel like when you brainstorm leading up to it, it helps that day. So even if you're not writing it on that first page of your PowerSheets and you're writing it on a separate piece of paper or even like a notes app on your phone, do some brainstorming before. The day of, the best that you can, distraction-free zone. So wherever that means you need to go to, if you need to go to a co-working space, like be in a space where you can focus on you and not have any other distractions. Otherwise, just have a really open mind that even though it will feel fast, it will be helpful to not overthink it and keep moving through the prep work. You can always go back and add more later. Whew, I am way behind on comments. Sorry, y'all. Jennifer, I just moved in with my boyfriend, and I find that when he gets home, I throw my plans out the window because I want to hang out with him. I waste 4 to 5 hours unwinding, cooking dinner, talking about what could be accomplished. What was your experience when we first moved in with Sam? So when I first moved in with Sam, he was working a different job where he didn't get home until like 7 usually. He was a personal assistant to a Broadway producer, and he didn't get home until about 7. So we didn't really have this struggle because I focused on getting what I needed to get done before he got home from work. And so I didn't really have this issue. What I do now, and I still don't really have this issue because he also still pretty much always works until 7. If he does stop working early and we eat dinner together earlier, he goes back to work afterwards. So this isn't as big of an issue with us. Honestly, I think it's just about having a conversation about it and not overcommitting yourself. Because if the options are you do all of your own plans and you have all these productive things that you want to do, or spend 4 to 5 hours hanging out with him, and it's like an all or nothing, it's going to be really easy to always just pick hanging out with him. But if you, and this is what I typically do on weeknights anyways, I have one thing that I want to get done on the weeknight, and I focus on getting that one thing done. And then the rest of the evening is rest and relaxation. Sometimes that's with Sam, sometimes it's by myself. But if you focus on that planning for one thing that you want to get done, commit to getting that one thing done, and then you can spend the rest of the night hanging out with him. If you did not use the 2021 PowerSheets, would you still purchase 2022, or should I just use 2021? This is a tough question because the prep work this year didn't really change. If your 2021 PowerSheets are not completely blank, I would purchase new ones. That's first and foremost. I just think that the fresh start, like trying to cross things off or deal with if you wrote anything last year, I would get new ones. If they're completely blank 2021 versions, I think that you could totally use them again. The prep work is pretty much the same. There's like 1 or 2 new pages. It's very similar. The only thing that you're going to struggle with is on the tending list, the days of the week are not going to match up to the dates. So it's going to have like the first, and it's going to say whatever the day of the week is, and that's not going to match. So it's going to require some whiteout or some washi or something over the days of the week. Otherwise, I think that you could totally use them. Abby, dealing with fear. Huge career opportunity this week, but it's not without risks. Any advice to avoid paralyzation and also maintaining momentum during transition? So I get this. I totally get this, that it can be really scary, even when it's a really positive opportunity. When I feel like when I get this like fear, I ask myself, first off, what am I afraid of? And then what is the extreme negative scenario of that, whatever that thing is that I'm afraid of? So if it's a fear of failure, what does failure mean? And if that were to happen, if that worst case scenario were to come to fruition, what would I do? What would happen? And most of the time I'm able to, especially in a situation like this, you can logically think through what you would do. You can logically come up with, well, if that happened, here is what I would do. And it may suck, it may not be fun, but this is what I would do if that happened. And in that scenario, you could get yourself through that. And that usually calms me down enough to just get started. And truthfully, once you get started and once you like say yes and accept that opportunity, it's going to be so much easier to work through that fear. In terms of maintaining momentum during a transition, I'm thinking that you're asking about maybe your other goals, habits, routines. Just slow it down. So don't quit on the routines or the habits or the other goals, but bring it down like 6 notches. Bring it down to something that's much more manageable, 5 minutes a day of whatever it is, so that you're still continuing on that progress path, but you're slowing it down because you have so many other things going on. Ooh, how do you learn to separate your worth from how much you produce? I find when I don't have super productive days, I feel like I didn't get anything accomplished. So, Jennifer, I don't know if you're also a type 3 Enneagram, but this is definitely something that as a type 3, I really do struggle with, is that my worth is tied to my success and accomplishments and productivity. What I have learned is that number one, my energy levels are not the same every day. My energy levels are so impacted by what I did the day before, how much sleep did I get, what part of my cycle I'm in, what I ate the day before, all of these things. And so some days my energy levels are just lower than others. And that means that I'm not going to get near as many things done as I did on other days. And the problem is that we compare ourselves to superhuman us. We compare ourselves to our best days rather than just accepting that most days we're going to be pretty average, especially with our energy fluctuations and especially with everything going on in the world that we have never had to deal with before. So if there are days that you feel like you're not getting things accomplished, you're likely comparing them to days that are once in a blue moon, these super productive days, as opposed to what's the average? What's the average productivity kind of a day? The other thing that I try to do when I feel like I didn't get anything done that day, most of the time, I did get things done. I just am not acknowledging those things, or it was things that took up a lot of my time. So I will make a list of all the things I did get done that day. And most of the time, I realize that I actually did have a pretty successful day. When working from a to-do list, I find that I never get the most important things done. How do I get myself to pick those tasks first? Don't work from a to-do list. If you find yourself not picking the most important task, then I would advise you to work from a calendar and schedule your tasks during your day and schedule the most important thing earlier in the day. I just talked about this recently, actually, in that time management tips video that I made. And that's one of the things we talked about. Oh, this question frustrates me. I'll tell you why. Planning a trip to NYC and I want to catch a Broadway show. What's the dress code? So the dress code at Broadway used to be very formal. It used to be very fancy. We used to get dressed up. My dad would put on a full suit and we would it was very fancy. And now it's very chill. You can get away. Sam wore jeans and a button down. I wear a dress because that's what I pretty much always wear, but you can very much wear jeans and a top. It doesn't have to be fancy. I've even seen people, especially on weekend matinees, roll in shorts. I think it's a little disrespectful to roll in shorts, but you could totally do it. There's not really a dress code. Sad. Yeah, Costco has a wine one. It's half bottles. It's massive. It's a lot of wine. Do you keep notes for your online classes digitally or pen and paper? Corey, right now I'm keeping them all digitally. It's just easier for me to keep them organized. I'm just doing them in Word docs. Nothing fancy. Mia, any tips on reminding yourself of your goals when you're out in the real world without your planners and reminders that you keep around the house? That is a great question. And really, there's not any magic solution to remind yourself of those things when you're out and about, except that when you are a person who is working on your goals, they are usually always at the forefront of your mind. So my advice here is just to keep being that kind of a person that works on their goals. Because if you are, even if you're spending a lot of the day out of your home, but if you're spending time in your home and your planners, your routines, if you've got, sticky notes on mirrors, whatever it is, the background on your phone is reminding you of your goals. And if you are thinking of your goals in the space that it's easy for you to remind yourself, then you usually will continue to be that person who thinks of their goals when they're out and about. Now, that does not always mean that it is easy to make those good decisions that help you towards those goals, but it does usually mean that you will at least think about it when you're out and about. Are you planning to open your advent calendars on your vlogs for Vlogmas? Absolutely, just like every year. Couldn't you just cross into New Jersey and get the Aldi calendar? Legally, maybe. I don't think Jersey has I don't know what Jersey's alcohol laws are. I don't know if Aldi carries them there. Physically, I'm not really sure how I would manage that. We don't have a car. So if I went into Jersey, I would have to take the train. And then I don't know if I would be able to carry the wine advent calendar back into the city on a train. And I don't know that it's worth paying for an Uber or renting a car just to get the wine advent calendar. I don't know that I need it that badly. How is the size comparison of the plum paper and the EC, the 7x9? I don't know the answer to this. I don't have a 7x9 of either of those planners in my possession right now, so I could not tell you. I think they're probably pretty close since they're both a 7x9. I'm out of focus. I'm focused for myself, so hopefully you're okay. Maybe just try refreshing it. What planner do you recommend when you have a lot going on? When I have a lot going on, I just use a notepad. I don't even try to deal with a planner. I just work off of a notepad. If I do have a lot going on, though, I also always appreciate a daily planner because I like being able to turn the page and have a fresh start every single day. This is a great question. Do you prefer a little bit every day and having a little time to rest each day, or working hard to get everything done and then having a full day of rest? This is something that it took me a lot of time to figure out what I needed. And the reality is I need a little bit of rest every single day. It was not working out for me to just have a rest day on the weekends. I needed a little bit of rest every day. I think the answer, though, is that it's different for every person, and what you need is going to be different. And I just have learned, really, the silver lining of having everything canceled, like everything in the world canceled, and having a lot of extra time has allowed me to figure out exactly how much rest I need. But I do need a little bit of rest every day. And then I also need a little bit of extra rest on the weekend. Like I can't just go all weekend. I don't need a full day, but I need at least about a half a day. And I also need on the weekend at least one day that there's no alarm, that I just get to wake up when I want to wake up. Did I ever use the Timular? I tried. I was very bad about remembering it. And then I got very frustrated with myself and had this like all or nothing meltdown that I like wasn't doing a good job. So taking a break from it right now, once dance is over, I'm going to pick it back up and try it again. Do you read fiction books? Last fiction book you enjoyed? I do read fiction books. The last fiction book I enjoyed was The Night Circus. Abby, can you recommend a notes app that does voice to text? I do not know of one, but I want to do this for like writing captions and stuff for Instagram, because I also am much more successful at voice to text, but I don't have an answer for you right now. I'll let you know if I find something. Elise, I don't know that I need the Aldi one. I love y'all's enthusiasm to get me the wine advent calendar, and I know it was fun last year, but honestly, one of the reasons it was so fun was because I was with my mom. And if I'm not going to be with my mom every day, I don't know that the wine advent calendar is going to be near as fun. And I also am like, I'm not drinking at home at all, and I'm drinking way less than I was this time last year. And so I don't know that I need the wine advent calendar, and that's okay. If you love wine, it was so fun. And get the cheese one if you like cheese, because they paired well together. Like every day it matched really well. But we did say this last year, my mom and I, if you are into wine and cheese, get 2 cheese, because the serving size of cheese did not pair with the serving size of the wine. So I would recommend per person 2 cheese advent calendars to 1 wine advent calendar from Aldi. Abby, the F word. Are you still working on your font? Is it still on my list of things to do at some point when I have more time to work on it? Yes. Am I actively working on it right this second? No. Elise, it's okay. A lot of people forget that people in New York don't own cars. And so things that seem easy and simple, like even a couple weeks ago, we talked about like going to a pumpkin patch or like apple picking. And I was like, without a car, like it's just not happening. So that's like, it's okay. It's very normal to forget. What did you want to be when you grew up as a kid? I wanted to be a lot of different things as a kid. There was a point in my life where I wanted to be a teacher. There was a point in my life where I wanted to be a dancer, a dance teacher. There was a point where I wanted to be a doctor. I wanted to be a professor, which I understand is a form of a teacher, but different. I feel like there was probably more. There were a lot of different things. I think a newscaster at one point, all the things that a little kid wants to be when they grow up. Do you plan out your outfits for the week to save time? I do not. I try to pick it out the night before when I do my full evening routine, but I definitely don't pick it out for the whole week. Lisa Marie, does the PowerSheets cover markup or stain easily? No. So I don't know what they do to those covers, but they do magic to the covers, and they are very durable, and you can spill on them and they're fine. Like my light teal one from this year, like nothing on it. They are very, very durable in that regards. Susan, have you ever taken a wire binding off and replaced it with a regular spiral? No. I have not. I have not ever tried that. In your day in the life, you talked about groups in your Routinary app. Can you explain? Do you mean, I group them like in routines. Like the Routinary app, they're grouped. If that's maybe I used the word groups and I meant like routines. Like I have 5 routines in my Routinary app. And so it's like I may have said that my habits are grouped together. I feel like that's probably what I meant. And I may have just like misstated that. Yes. Someone on the Cultivate Matters team literally poured coffee on one of the covers and wiped it off like it was nothing. I tell you, it's magic. They put magic on these covers. I don't know what it is that makes it work so well, but they're pretty amazing. Okay. Yes. Oh, you ordered the Kit Life Daily today to try. If you are a VIP of Kit Life, you can order today. If you are not, you will be able to order tomorrow. I talked about this in one of my vlogs. But my collaboration with Kit Life, I've got it right here, launched. I still love looking at it. I love how it turned out, and I love the silver. You can get this cover. You can get a daily or a weekly layout, and you can use my code. It's Laken, just my first name, all one word, to get $5 off any planner. So even if you go to the website, you pick a different planner and not this one, you can still use my code to get a discount. Oh, I loved Firefly Lane too. Such a good one. Oh, I totally forgot to mention something, you guys. I meant to do this at the beginning. Oops. I'm speaking at a summit upcoming, and you can now sign up. So I just wanted to let you know the summit is called the Graduate with Grace Summit, and it was created by a woman for moms in college. That is the target audience of this summit. And that is just such a unique, specific focus that I just thought was super cool to be a part of. Obviously, I'm not a mom and I'm not currently in college, but I have a lot of experience dealing with a very busy schedule and scheduling goals around that. So my session is all about scheduling goals and making time for goals. But there are 30 speakers talking all about all kinds of things: productivity, mom tips, routines, habits, all college, like studying tips, all kinds of things. So even if you are not a mom in college, I would highly recommend that you still sign up and see if there might be a topic that you would get value from. It is October 25th through November 1st. It is free. I should have put that in the thing here. All of these summits, that's like typically how they work. They're free. The caveat is you have 24 hours usually to watch the sessions, which can be difficult, but it is free content. So link is in the description box if you want to join me and sign up. Okay, I meant to do that at the beginning. Sorry, I totally forgot. Okay, back to the questions. Debating between the daily and the weekly for Kit Life. Yeah, they're different. They're both different and beautiful in their same way. Moxie Life is coming out with a daily planner. I am going to give it a try. I am not 100% sure if it'll work for me based on the number of, it doesn't have hours in it. They have washi tape that makes the hours. And based on the number of spaces for a weekday, it might not be quite enough hours for me, but I am going to give it a go and see how it goes. Lisa, my December daily box shipped today. I got the shipping notifications. I was literally watching a YouTube video at that moment was it you that told me about Paper Person? Somebody told me about Paper Person. And their Christmas stuff launches on Friday. But I was watching a YouTube video today about what their Christmas stuff looks like. And as I was watching that video, and then after that video ended, I went and checked my email, and there was my December daily shipping notification. All about it. Oh, I'm so excited. Okay, it was you, yeah. I'm so excited to order from them. I'm definitely going to order stuff this week. Yeah, Elise, it's called Paper Person. They've got lots of like memory keeping papers and stickers and stamps. I don't really use stamps, but they have stamps. And they have a lot of really cute Christmas stuff. The YouTube video I was watching was not Paper Person. It was somebody else. It was like an influencer who was sent all of the Paper Person kits in advance. And I was watching their video. I can't remember who it is now, but if you search Paper Person Christmas, it came up. Describe the difference between the EC paper and Moxie. Yes. So the EC paper has a lot more grittiness to it. It's much grittier and it has a little bit more of a yellow tint to it. The Moxie Life paper is much whiter and slightly smoother. For me, they both have the same level of thickness. Some people, they are the same. Like they're the number wise, they're the same. Some people say that the EC Mohawk paper is a little bit thicker. For me, they're kind of the same, same thickness. I can use the same pens and it doesn't matter on the other side. But I prefer the Moxie Life paper because I prefer the whiteness, like just the whiteness of the Moxie Life paper is really important to me. So that is my preferred paper. It is like my favorite paper. But I know a lot of people love the EC Mohawk paper. Any news on my Christmas vlog? Do you mean Vlogmas? There's nothing really to share. I mean, I'm doing it. There will be a video every day from December 1st to December 25th. Oh, I'm tired just saying that out loud. Oh, that's who it was. My Little Journal on YouTube. That's the video I watched and I entered the giveaway. So fingers crossed. Okay, so yeah, Vlogmas. I will share a little bit more about it in this week's weekly vlog. A little bit more about what I'm thinking for some things, but nothing really to share. Oh, here is a tip. If you press record for a voice to text notes app, it will just record your notes. What is on your Christmas gift list? Meg, that's a fun question. I haven't really thought about it yet. I think somebody asked me this a couple of weeks ago. One of the things I'm thinking about asking for is the Aura ring to help me track my sleep. But I don't know if I'm willing. It's expensive. I don't know if I'm willing to put that on my list. But yeah, I haven't really thought about it yet. I don't know. Emily, last week or 2 weeks ago, I mentioned that my dad was my mentor for starting my business. Do I use a coach now to help me plan or grow my business? So right now, I just have a public speaking coach. That's the only coach that I'm currently working with. I have other coaches that I've worked with in terms of like signing up for their online courses that I have worked with that have helped me with things. But right now, it's just that speaking coach. Amy, what was your favorite costume you ever wore for Halloween? Oh my goodness. You know, one of my favorite Halloween costume pictures that I ever look back on was I was maybe 2 or 3. And I was Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz. And my mom was Glinda and had this like magnificent dress and like crown and like just the whole 9 yards. And she looked amazing. And like just the picture of us is so cute. Like, I don't know that Dorothy was ever my favorite like costume, but like just that picture of me and my mom. As an adult, I think it was the year that I was Merida from Brave. It was like my first Halloween after I had broken up with my ex. And it was like, you know, Merida as a princess is just such, for lack of better words, cover the little ears, is a badass. And like, I just felt really like empowered to be her. And I just like, I don't know, I just really loved that costume, mostly because of the meaning behind it. But in a green dress, I don't know why everyone thought, whoa, in a green dress, carrying around a bow and arrow, even though like I had frizzy curly hair and like freckles, everybody thought I was Katniss that year. And that was not very fun. Are you still enjoying the hatch? 1,000,000,000%. I am so excited that I'm like so thankful that I bought that product. I actually just saw the memory that pop up on my phone recently that I bought it 2 years or 1 year ago, like recently. Hands down, one of the best purchases I made last year, for sure. Any tips for someone leery of showing my face on YouTube? Is there interesting content I can create without showing my face? You know, there are. I mean, yes, there's a lot of options, but there is something to be said for showing your face as like a way to connect with your audience. I would encourage you to just try it. Like just work on like getting yourself out of your comfort zone and just giving it a go. You'll notice that even for like my plan with me videos, I try to have an intro with my face because I think that showing my face gives like, it's a connection. You can see me and then like I'm actually a real person and not just like a voice. That said, there are a lot of really successful YouTube channels that don't show their face and just do top down videos. The only ones I can really think of off the top of my head are like planning and memory keeping type videos. But if you Google and search, I bet you can find lots of people with ideas for YouTube videos where you don't have to show your face. How is the full focus planner going for me? I love it. I love it. Love it. I mean, literally the only complaint I probably have is that the paper is a little bit yellow, like what you're talking about earlier. I like white paper. But otherwise, it's great. As an adult, do you prefer to go out or stay in? I love staying in, watching movies, and eating candy. I think if I lived in a place where we got trick-or-treaters, I would like staying in. When it's on like a random weeknight, I don't even care. I do like to go to a Halloween party, though, at some point during the week of Halloween. I like this question. What's a Halloween costume you would love to be but have not yet? I have always, always, always wanted to be Sally from The Nightmare Before Christmas. And yeah, that's it. At the end. It's always been on my list. What is my dream planner collab? Oh, I don't know. I don't know that I really have one. I mean, working with Kit Life was absolutely amazing. For me, it's about the company, and I really believe everything that Kit Life stands for and works towards. But I think if I had a dream collab, it might be with other companies that aren't planner companies. There's a lot of video game YouTubers that don't show their face. That's true. Definitely true. Okay, we had a couple pre-submitted questions that I want to make sure I answer. So the first one was talking about book notes. I actually had 2 people ask about this, and I feel like I get a lot of questions about this, and I just don't have a magical answer for you because right now all I am doing is literally taking notes in a Word doc. And the reason that I just wanted what I mean by book notes is when I read a book, I am highlighting, the things that stand out to me. And I wanted a way to go back and reference those points without flipping through the entire book. And so I started out by doing it in a notebook, and I was just writing all those notes on a notebook. And then that was taking way too long. So that's why I switched to just doing it in a Word doc. In an ideal world, I would put all these notes somewhere and be able to reference them when I'm making videos and I want to reference a point, or when I'm working on Patreon content and I want to reference a point. And that is kind of the purpose of having all my book notes nice and organized. Right now, it's just about getting it out of the book and into the Word doc. Sorry, that's not the most exciting answer. Next question I got was tips to manage full-time job, side job, and goals. And I want to start by saying that there are only so many hours in a day. And if your full-time job takes up a lot of time, maybe you work more than 40 hours, maybe you have to commute pretty far, you also have to get ready, maybe you also have kids you've got to take and drop off from daycare or some kind of sitter, then having both a side job and working on other goals might be a lot. And if you really want to work on a side job, that might be your goal for now. And really take the time to take stock of the number of hours that you have in the day and make sure that you're not trying to overcommit, and really balance out. If your time is very limited, then maybe you don't work on any other goals besides your side job, because that is your number one goal. And that's one of the things that I had to figure out. Also, it usually just means working on the weekends. I mean, for most of my YouTube life, I have always worked on the weekends in order to get videos up. That's just like what has happened. And so kind of accepting that as part of it. And then I would point you back to the time management video that I made a few weeks ago. I think a lot of those tips really apply. And just considering your side job as a goal and prioritizing it among all of your other goals. Let me come back to the chat here. Have I thought about doing them in OneNote? Emily, I don't really have a lot of experience with OneNote. I've thought about a lot of different things, but right now it's just easier for me to keep it all in Word. Are your nonfiction books most likely personal development related? Absolutely, Elise. The only nonfiction books I read that aren't are like biographies, but otherwise, yeah. What has the highlight been for the last couple of weeks? I feel like a lot of things have been going on. Lisa, I know since the last time you asked that question, I've gone on 2 trips and had a lot going on. Honestly, it was getting back to Broadway and going to see Hadestown and getting back inside of a Broadway theater. It's amazing. Okay, there was one more pre-submitted question that I do want to answer, and that was, what made you decide to be a goal coach and teach classes? And these are your words that you submitted, not mine. I still don't know how I feel about the phrase goal coach. My dad asked me that recently. He goes, what do I tell people that you do? And I was like, I don't know. I'm still working on that. But honestly, it started out from me sharing my own personal goal journey, right? If you've been around for years, that's how it started, was me sharing my PowerSheets and my goals and sharing what worked and what didn't work for me. And then over time, there were so many of you who said that you were getting so much of what I was sharing on the internet, that I would share little things and you were like, I implemented that and it worked for me. And after getting so much of that feedback, it really just felt like I wanted to organize it. I wanted to turn it into a method that would be easier to digest. And that's how I created the course. Well, so then first off, we started the Patreon, right? Before the course, we started the Patreon community. And that was really an opportunity for me to work closer with you and be able to answer specific questions. And it also really helped me learn a lot more about what people are struggling with. And then created Accelerate Your Goals, the course, as like an organization of all the things that I've learned, both from my own personal goal journey, as well as working with the Patreon community, all the things that I've learned about setting and accomplishing goals. And then I transitioned that into working one-on-one, mostly just because I got asked a lot if I did any one-on-one work. And I got asked so many times and I just kept putting it off because of the time commitment. That's it. That's really what was holding me back. And that was just a mindset shift that I had to work through. Worked through that. Obviously helpful that I'm working from home right now. And so I have that flexibility to do like lunchtime one-on-one calls. But that is what I transitioned to, working one-on-one. And here we are. Two. Ooh, last question. Any advice? Not my last question. Your last question, I'm assuming. Any advice for starting a Patreon if you have a small following? My only advice for starting a Patreon, regardless of following, is just get really specific on what it is that you want to focus on. I think that there are a lot of creators that start a Patreon just because it feels like that's the next thing to do and haven't really thought about what it is they're going to provide to that community that's above and beyond what they provide in their free content. And so just get really specific on what it is that you're going to do in that Patreon setting, regardless of the following. Oh my gosh, I love this question. I'm so excited. I love my Peloton. My top tip for someone new to it is to start with slower rides or shorter rides. Don't feel like you need to jump into the 20, 30, 45-minute rides, 10-minute rides, 15-minute rides, and just get used to it. Just get used to it. Focus on making getting on the Peloton a routine and a habit rather than trying to do the longest, most intense ride every time you get on. Did I talk about what I thought of Hadestown? I will in the vlog on Friday because that was last week and the vlog goes up this week. I loved it. Short version. It was great. I love all of you that got all your PowerSheets today. Everybody's PowerSheets were delivered today. It's so fun. So fun. Will you be doing any collab videos with anyone? I don't currently have anything planned. It is hard to get together and do collab videos. I've loved the ones that I've done in the past, but I did all those in person, and that's just not really an option right now. I mean, it is, but not like, it's just hard. Not right now. Have I ever tried the Readwise app? Thomas Frank did a video on it for recording your notes. I have not. I unsubscribed to Thomas Frank a long time ago. I can't remember why, but I have not heard of that app. I will look into it. Thanks for recommending it. Emily, are you doing a plan with me with the focus planner soon? I will, just because it happens to be my planner. Next week's video is a plan with me with the Amplify planner, the last week of the Amplify planner. I haven't filmed one in the full focus yet, but honestly, my planning style hasn't changed. Like it is a different planner, but it still has an hourly section. It still has a top 3, and it still has a to-do section. So like, it's not, my planning style from the 2 planners hasn't really changed. I just like the size better of the full focus. And I like, I don't know what I like about it more, but I do like it. Maybe I just don't like all the empty space that I always had on my Amplify planner. Any other questions? Anything else on your mind? I'm all caught up. I got through all of the pre-submitted questions. I remembered to talk about the summit, all the things. All right. Well, if there are no last minute questions, I think I will actually wrap up a little bit early tonight. That way I have time to go get a little bit of dinner before we leave for this show that starts at, the questions popped in. Not a silly question whatsoever. I use the paper mate flares in the PowerSheets, and they do not go through the page for me. For Thanksgiving, I feel like I told y'all. I thought I told you. We're going to Puerto Rico, just the 2 of us. We decided that we needed a beach vacation, just the 2 of us. We've been spending a lot of time with family, and all of our vacations have been with family. And we just needed some alone time. So we are going to Puerto Rico, just the 2 of us, the week of Thanksgiving. We have a wedding Sunday, really close to JFK. And so then we're staying at a hotel Sunday night next to JFK and leaving from JFK Monday morning, and we'll come back Saturday. I'm really excited. What would you recommend for someone who's thinking about a daily but hasn't tried any yet? I would use a daily that doesn't have hours actually to start. So like the plum paper or the, what's the EC one that's sewn? That one. Just because I think that dealing with the hours, if you haven't ever daily planned before, can be a lot. Wendy, I'm not sure if you're asking. My dance show is next Saturday, and I'm super, super excited. Tonight we're going to see a show, so I don't know if that's what you were asking about. Ooh, any chance we'll be in KC before February of 2022, Auschwitz exhibit at Union Station? I do not know, but we saw an Auschwitz exhibit here in New York, fall of 2019. I think we saw it. So I don't know if it's the same one that just relocated itself. So I don't know if it's the same one. I doubt with everything going on that we will make it there before February of 2022. I don't work within the department that is located in KC anymore at work. I moved departments, so I don't have an excuse for work anymore. This is a good tip too. Just trying a notebook for daily planning if you are brand new. That's a good idea as well. All right, I'm going to ask you my last question. That way I can get some dinner in before the show we're going to tonight. And that is, what is one thing that you will do this week to make progress on your goals? It doesn't have to be huge. It doesn't have to be life-changing. But what is one small step that you can do this week to make progress on your goals? Wendy, you're a dancer and your favorite was tap 2. I love it. I'm so excited. One of our tap shows is opening the show. One of our tap numbers is opening the show, and I'm so excited about it. You can still get virtual tickets. The link, I'll link it in this video. It's not there yet, but I also have it linked in the day in the life from Monday. I'm so excited. I know so many of you have bought virtual tickets, and I appreciate it so much. I'm so excited. Emily, finishing last 2 assignments for your class. You're so close. You are so close. It's going to feel so good when you're done. Resting when you're back from your work trip. Adding ice to your water because you love cold water. Oh my gosh. Making water, whatever it is that you like, hot, cold, flavored, not flavored, can make all the difference. Put the donation boxes in your car. Go through one section of your craft room. Putting your filled water bottle in the fridge the night before. Ariel, this helps me a lot as well when I do that. Oh, get out of quarantine. I hope that you're feeling okay. Drop off donations. Lots of donations happening this week. Doesn't have to be a big step. Small steps really add up. Finish detailing your car. Apply for a commercial real estate loan. That is exciting. Do applications for your boys' school year. Oh my gosh. So exciting. Working on your new YouTube videos. So exciting. So many fun things going on. All of the goals that you are all working on are so exciting. Thank you for hanging out with me tonight. I hope that you found this valuable. If you wouldn't mind giving it a thumbs up before you head out, I would greatly appreciate it. And if you're new here, please click that subscribe button. I upload new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday focused on helping you achieve your goals. Have a great night.